you, Christina. So we are further inspired, educated, and transformed as a congregation, and our ties to the wider community are strengthened through our gallery Unicorn. Each art show invites us to literally see our relationship to ourselves, to others, and to the wider world in a new way. As a rotating art gallery, Gallery Unicorn embodies our Unitarian Universalist affirmation that revelation is ever unfolding. So about 6 weeks ago, Emily Tarcell, director of Gallery Unicorn, emailed me information about our current show. As you can see, and as Peter has shared, it is an artistic and environmental aerial photographic exploration of the mine lands of Pennsylvania and the marshes of the eastern shore of the Chesapeake Bay. It includes images of and information about protection projects to improve the quality of these areas. So Emily wondered if I might consider doing a worship service on the theme of the environment and mention Peter's work. She suggested I connect with Peter. I did. Now, as one who chooses an aisle seat instead of a window seat on commercial flights in order not to have to climb over people to move around the airplane, it was exhilarating to speak with Peter, whose view above the changing landscape is from the cockpit. You don't even just have a side view, you have it all right there in front of you. And as one whose first commercial flight as a child was so turbulent that 2 businessmen deplaning said it was the worst flight they had ever been on, it's taken me a long time to trust that no one person needs to hold the airplane in the air. But Peter pilots his plane and takes photographs at the same time, so it must be true. As one drawn to spiritual journeys, I resonated with Peter's description of letting go of his own past assumptions, stories, and patterns, and learning to see his own life and life itself in new ways. Peter, a pilot who is curious about destinations, an artist open to discovery, and a human being who intentionally seeks to discern his deepest purposes, suggested this reading by Rilke for today's worship. My eyes already touch the sunny hill, going far ahead of the road I have begun. So we are grasped by what we cannot grasp. It has inner light, even from a distance, and changes us, even if we do not reach it, into something else, which, hardly sensing it, we already are. A gesture waves us on, answering our own wave. But what we feel is the wind in our faces. In the midst of a changing landscape, it's hard to see the sunny hill. In the midst of a changing landscape, we often feel the wind in our faces. In the midst of a changing landscape, it's hard to discern what the gesture is waving us on to do. But above the changing landscape, we see and feel differently. We are liberated. We are inspired to act from a wider perspective. Peter's first exhibit was entitled Above the Changing Landscape. And so this became the theme of worship today. For the mission of our congregation is to remind us that lives are designed to fly, that the spiritual journey entails the perspective offered by seeing in new ways, and then helping one another and others to do just that. With this in mind, our morning offering will now be given and received in grateful appreciation of our shared hopes and values 15% of undedicated gifts will be returned to the community to feed people who are hungry, to heal people who are addicted, to help young women to explore the world beyond their neighborhoods, and to advocate for just laws in our state.